The gridiron is a school of hard knocks. Lessons are often learned the hard way, but what is taught is indispensable and can prepare the bold to land on their feet wherever they may go. These are the stories of the Mount Sac student athletes who journey without fear. These are the stories of the unlimited.
When I first started, I barely even watched football. Like, even my dad would try to get me to watch football with him. I wasn't too interested in it. But I was 8 years old. It was my dad. I was old enough to play like contact sports in Vegas. I know you had to be like a certain age. I don't remember the exact criteria, but I was old enough to play contact sports. And my dad was like, "Hey, son, I think you should play football." And I was like, "All right, Dad, whatever. Like, if you want to do, I'll do it." So I ended up playing for the Saints. It was like, we did NYFL. It was like Pee Wee. Played D tackle, and then I started kind of liking the sport. So I was like, hey, I might give this a little go and keep playing. Because I was one of the bigger kids. I've always been pretty big for my age and size. So my next season, I moved from D tackle, and that's when I started like noticing I could catch the ball really well. So they put me at receiver. I played receiver and linebacker that next season. And that's when I started really falling in love with the football sport. You know, catching the ball, running away from people and making plays. It was just fun to do. The head coach at Roosevelt had been wanting me to come out and play for him ever since I entered into high school. And in my sophomore year, I decided it would be better for me. The competition out in California is better. So I came in my junior year and I had to sit out the transfer rules. Game 6, I come in and they had me at the slot position. My first game, I scored 2 touchdowns. So from then on, they was excited to have me. I was able to make a big impact my first year in such few games. They took me in pretty warmly. I still got my friend group from Roosevelt High School. We're still close friends to this day. So I had an offer from this school called Stony Brook. It's out in New York, D1 AA school. Went to a bunch of camps. So I was on UW was University of Washington was talking to me heavy. Washington State, Utah. So I had a bunch of Pac-12 schools. None really out in the East, but they just never pulled the trigger on me. So I thought hey, I'm 17 years old, man. New York's super far and something different. I don't know how well I do out on my own again. Why not just stay here and go to JUCO? Kind of test the water, see if I can get something more localized. Originally out of high school, I took a few visits to junior colleges. I stopped by RCC, Chaffey, Mount Sac. I like Chaffey a lot. That's where I ended up at first. But coming out of high school, I had broken both my legs too. I had fractures in my legs, and the left one didn't end up healing on its own. So I sat out a year at Chaffey, trying to let it heal on its own. It didn't. So the following year, I tried to practice with them, and I'm still in pain and everything. I can't really run as well. So I decided to get surgery. So I sit out another season, and in that time, I was at Chaffey. They had won 3 games total in 2 years. So I was like, yeah, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? I got to go somewhere where I can be utilized and will win games. Ended up transferring to Mount Sac. The rest is history, man. It was the best move I made. I remember our first game was against Bakersfield. I wasn't getting the PT that I wanted to. I was still rotating in, getting to play in the games, but I wasn't the guy that they went to for, let's go 3rd and 10, 4th and 10. We need you, put Bowden in tight. I actually scored a touchdown that game. That, it boosted my confidence, and I knew that I could make an impact on this team even if I didn't technically start. I was a high-head. It took me it was towards the end of the season where I really okay. I see what they're doing here. They got a culture here, and I got to either fall in line or get out. And, my choice was to fall in line. It was a good choice, you know what I'm saying? Because here I am today, equipped with skills, how to be a man and how to be able to see life after football, you know what I'm saying?
Sean was our vertical guy. He kind of had that awkward, would slip on a lot of things, but he was so damn fast and could stretch the defense vertically. And, that was his strength to us. So that's how we were going to use him. And when we saw those DBs getting soft at him, we said, Sean, run it exactly like that. When you see them open their hips, just sit down and we'll throw you to sit down underneath the coverage. And Sean was a stud for us and became a leader on our offense last year for us as a sophomore and set the tone at practice at times when practice was flat. He was one of the first guys to express it that, hey, we need to pick it up a little bit. He's a great team guy that meant a lot to us as a football player, as a young man, and held us together at times for sure.
Coming into year 2, I had proven myself, you know what I'm saying? In practice, they knew I was going to be the guy heading into next year. So I rocked out that 6 and had a hell of a season, you know what I'm saying? That was probably my best football season I had, just statistic-wise and fun-wise. Syracuse was inquiring about me, UCLA, other schools. None, unfortunately, pulled the trigger on me. So then I readied myself for the chance to go into D2. I was cool with it, as long as everything was paid for. You feel me? I was on a meal plan. I didn't have to come out of pocket anything. I was all right with being able to get a chance to play football again, as long as I was being taken care of. I was committed to UTPB, but then I get a call from Coach Robbins, he was a coach at Chafee back when I went to Chafee. But he had switched over to APU, and it was like, hey, we got a spot for a receiver. We need you. I saw it as an opportunity to stay in California, the state I love so much. And it became home to me, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay home and go to APU. They offered me everything I could ask for and more. So I inked the pen on that. They shut down on me. I signed there, right? So we go through our fall practices and stuff, and then we go on break. The semester ends, we go on break, and then they call us back, a Zoom call, and tell us APU's decided to discontinue the football team. They said they had to make budget cuts, and being that we were the only D2 program out in California, we'd have to fly to all of our games, and just football was costing the university a whole lot of money, and they were just on the first list to go.
It was, we cracked the top on the new recruiting process for Sean. APU had told them that they were going to honor, scholarships to these players that they had signed letters of intent. So it was, do you still want to play football? If you do, okay, let's go get back on the horn and letting, these schools that are looking for receivers know that you're available. And so it was immediate. We have 50 coaches every day that reach out to me. I was just trying to find him an opportunity that would fit him financially, athletically, fit the program. That's really the, being from Mount Sac, still having that relationship with me, is there's plenty of people looking for current players, former players, past players, guys hanging around that we're going to find them a home. And that's what we take pride in, is getting our guys on to the next level.
The doors open and close all the time. And it's never exactly how you want it to be, but I wish they would have let us know that sooner than they did. So at the last moment, we're all trying to scramble and find new homes. So I ended up at Davenport out in Michigan. I just liked a lot of what I was hearing from Davenport. Just offensively, what they do here is different. I feel like I belong in this offensive system more. It felt good to be a part of something so renowned and known for its success. And to be able to say that I went there is, it strokes your pride. Being a Sac dog, you can always come back to Mount Sac, and everybody will still remember who you were and what you've done as a part of this organization. And it's like a family, you know what I'm saying? Your impact, your footprint left on Mount Sac will never diminish or disappear. And goal for me to be able to continue playing football till I can't no more and make this a career. I feel like I can. I'm equipped with the tools and the athletic ability to take this to the next level. And over these next few years, that's what I'll be chasing. But I know if all push comes to shove, that I can fall back on my degree. I I'm a biological lab science to be an orthopedic surgeon. That's my end goal. I don't know. I've always been committed to the grind, and given my fascination of the body and my experience with surgery, I thought, hey, maybe I could do surgery and give people a chance at life again. Life's full of uncertainties, so you never know when will be your last down in football. So just take every rep, every single thing you do with all seriousness and 100% effort. And if it ends, it ends, you know what I'm saying? Make sure it's the way you wanted it to end, not you don't leave room for, I wish I could have went harder here, or I wish I could have done this differently. Just do everything you can to make sure that you won't have no regrets moving forward.
You gotta get it. We gotta get it. I gotta get it. On a mission, I got a plan. I gotta get it. Time to be a man. On a mission, I got a plan. I gotta get it.
Whataburger is like a poor man's In-N-Out, you feel me? It goes it's like the Queen of England. We're talking about the Queen of England, and then we're talking about let's cut that out. I forgot what I was going to say.